Welcome to Loleventvods. Watch the full game of today's LTA 2025 matchup.
He has had very high highs in the region as well. Do not pick Yasuo versus pick Yasuo. What do we think? Are we on the pick Yasuo side, audience?
Okay.
Are we on the not pick Yasuo side?
The real question is, do you want the team
Yasuo.
you're cheering for to pick Yasuo? Because everyone wants it on the other team.
Important distinction. Important distinction to make. Well, we have a couple of bans coming through here already for game number 1. No surprise, Skarner taken off the table. This has still been just the champion on the patch right now, maintaining its close to 100% presence.
Yep, and it is going to be Swiffer on stage for TL, as Spawn is remote for now, I do believe. So, they are going to be working as coaches together, and Spawn is going to spend some of this year remote. Obviously, had a great first year, with TL in the LCS last year, had been with the org for a really long time, had been with the On, for a really long time. And that was kind of one of the big stories around TL last year, was the promotion of Coach Spawn, up to the LCS level, and how well they did, how much they grew as a squad throughout the year.
And now we're going to see if that growth is going to maintain the ability for Team Liquid to kind of control the region as they did last time it was Spring Split. First split here as it's
that is a sick
and
poster.
Renata glass locked in.
Okay.
Whoa!
I see you.
Season.
That's a really good drawing.
That's beautiful. All right, well, so Dig fans are showing up here today. I was wondering who was going to have more signs, who's going to have more noise for them. I guess we'll find out during the games as well. But Kalista also prioritized for Dignitas, a very high presence champion as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Kalista really strong in the bot lane, a lot of early game power. And the name of the game this season, let's be honest, is objectives. It's all about fighting around these objectives, stacking towards feats of strength, going towards things like Otacon. Kalista really does give you the advantage in going for that. People are going to be very excited to watch this matchup in the top lane, though. Impact last year had the debut game against Sniper, who actually solo killed him in that game.
Ooh.
So we'll see if Surdy can try to replicate the success that Sniper had in his first game. It is a very classic Impact champion here. He is on the tank. We get Senna coming out, though, which is really exciting because Renata is one of those typical pairings with the Kalista. And I think this was much more of a denial pick here from CoreJJ. Wanted to take that Renata away. They are going towards Senna, which I believe to be super strong right now. You can play that Enchanter style. You also can, in more AD heavy comps, just rush straight towards Black Cleaver. And there's some builds that are really, really powerful as more of like a secondary threat. Sure. So I do think it's quite strong. It is going to be Draven, though, which is going to be really scary, for Senna. Senna is very powerful in chip lanes. You don't want to take all-ins. You really do want to poke and prod and kind of heal through that. Constantly be getting, soul poke, but Draven, Renata, really strong duo, so they're really matching power with power here in that bot lane 2v2, not shying away whatsoever.
And I want to say this is also going to make Surdy's job a little harder because there's going to be 2 more bans, and also we remember Team Liquid from last year, the team to lane swap. If you're lane swapping against a Draven, it's scary as a top laner if you have to lane against that alone.
That's definitely true, but at the same time, maybe all the jungle attention will be going down to that bot lane, and you can have an isolated 1v1.
I like this. I like this.
Okay, that was pretty savage. I respect the poster game. I have no art skills whatsoever. As Akali and Vi going to be getting banned out. Vi, obviously, is a strong engaged champion here. Would be something that could help to lock down this Kalista, which can be pretty evasive. They don't have the jungler, obviously, picked for TL just yet. It is jungle on one side, top lane on the other. That is kind of where we are seeing that difference for now. But going to be interesting to see where APA wants to go as well, because he was one of the players I think a lot of people kind of had questions about coming into this year. What would be his focus? Last year was obviously heavy towards the marksman, but he first made his name for himself as like a Ziggs ASOL guy. Obviously was more known for the mages back then, and it is going to be kind of just bans towards meta stuff here. This tank bruiser Jace, so popular. Akali as well, really rising in priority.
I mean, APA was the guy that everyone criticized in his debut split. Still made it to Worlds, but then everyone was like, okay, when's he going to expand that champ? Well, he definitely did last year, but how much more can he expand it in Fearless Draft now as well? Because you're going to have even more. Oh, the face even moves. That's a good sign right there. And there's the Ziggs. All right, final bans come through here. It's Jace and Akali from the side of Team Liquid. So only 1 ban towards Surdy. I do like that Jace nod. Now, what do they want to lock in here? We're expecting a jungler if they want to save that mid lane counter pick for APA.
Yeah, very likely, unless they think it's a contested pick, you just go jungle here. If it is a contested pick, if you think there's a denial, then maybe you do go towards mid lane. But Wukong, another really strong pick on the patch. It does give them a little bit of engage as well. Wukong, can be that primary engage. If he's spotted, it's very difficult often to be the one doing it, though. So you do often like to have someone more engage on top of this. I don't know if they're going to really be able to get that from mid lane, though. So it already looks kind of like a pretty skirmish-headly team here that TL is drafting.
Yeah, I love it into the Kalista and the Senna as well, because they don't have a lot of tools to just immediately disengage from the Wukong, so you can lock them down. But it's Yone and Rumble locked in for Dig.
This is really strong, especially as pairings with the Sejuani. You have double melee soul laners, so you can attack, either the soul lanes. You can look down towards bot lane as well if that's going to be spicy. But Yone Rumble, also really strong combo, because you go in, you throw down the ulti from the Yone, lock people in place with those knockups for the Rumble equalizer. You have Senna ult coming over the top to help those divers. It's a very cohesive comp. It really wants to dive deep and be able to try to punish. Azir here as the pick for APA. Looks like it's more just about the disengage here. Your engage tools become less important when the other team really only functions by diving in on you. So I do think that TL has strong counter engage, with the Wukong, with the ulti coming through from both Renata as well as Azir. So you're going to have to really be on point with how you're engaging as Dignitas and make sure you're coming from multiple angles, or the hostile takeover is going to absolutely cook you.
Yeah, the disengage tools are very strong, but I also want to say, Team Liquid fans around the world probably just let out a sigh. We set this up saying, can APA's champ will expand? His Azir was one of his most critiqued champions historically. Now he's piloting it day one, game one for their LTA North debut. What a statement here from APA to say, yes, I can play this champion. Yes, I can pilot this, and trying to silence some of those doubters. Into Kaney's Yone, who, as you had just been saying, with a Sejuani in the back pocket, can be a danger. So, more so, engage tools on the side of Dignitas, disengage on the side of Team Liquid. We'll see which style is able to come out on top for game one.
Absolutely. Going to have to find out, if there's going to be any sort of a lane swap as well. Team Liquid was, of course, known as not only one of the best lane swap teams in the league, but one of the best lane swap teams in the world. A lot of teams, when they did go to Worlds, even from the LCK, the LPL, were actually trying to learn, how they were lane swapping, how they were playing out these circumstances. I do think it is simplified this year compared to last in the way that you do have to do these lane swaps with some of the minion changes. The top laners are higher level. The cannon minion comes later, so it's easier to kind of cover on the dives. But TL doesn't mean that they can't still get a big advantage by playing out these lane swaps, and I'm going to be excited to see if they can pull it off.
All right. Make some noise, Riot Games Arena. We're getting into game number one between Dignitas and Team Liquid. Each of these organizations debut in the new region, the new format, the new everything. And again, two storied organizations in the North American region. Happy that we get to have even more legacy here, as the level ones look to be fairly tame. Impact actually finding Tomo right now, level 1. Tomo's going to try and dash away here. Let's see if he loses a summoner spell for this. I think he can just walk. Yeah, dodges the third.
I can tell you don't respect top laners by calling that tame, because that's about the most action top laners get in the first 10 minutes.
You know what? Fair enough.
He hit that guy like 3 times.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, hey, with the current state of solo queue, top laners are actually having a rough time these days. Constantly getting first blooded. But look at this. We talked about Lyra at the top of the match. It's been a while since he's been in the region. 2,000
days since he has actually last played competitively. It was with Clutch Gaming at Worlds in 2019. That was his last competitive game. So, going to be excited to see how he can perform here. This guy was a legend in the league, especially, when he first came in. I think of back to like the Nidalee days and stuff, how he was just hard carrying some games. It is going to be Surdy getting the bad news here. He does not catch them.
Oh no! Welcome to the LTA North, Surdy. That's a flash level 1 with the trademark Team Liquid lane swap here. Yannick Core JJ going to make it just rough for him, and they had the ward down, so even the back gets stopped.
He's going to keep chasing. This is going to be pretty annoying. Core does have to be a little bit careful about the Sejuani, but he is going to spot Lyra. It gives himself that full info. And as soon as you saw the Rumble coming through, you oh my God, he got the big wolf.
He got it?
He got the big wolf. That's
crazy.
Actually... that hurts, man. That actually really hurts.
Well, welcome back to Lane Swaps, Team Liquid. It's going pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you saw Surdy did go for a carry, it wasn't going to be tank versus tank or anything like that. You do know that TL is probably going to want a lane swap. It's double ranged down in the bot lane for a dig, and you have a Cassante who's going to be able to be better at low economy than the Rumble is, right? So that's going to mean it's an advantageous thing for TL lane swap. and now they're able to pull it off.
And they're already kind of pulling the emergency brakes here. Isles is going back to the top side here to back up Surdy, so they're going to have a 2v2 up there. Because, again, it's so scary against the Draven if you're laning solo.
It really is, and I think basically the read here is just, okay, we can't punish Cassante anyway, so give solo XP to our Kalista.
Yeah.
I just cover the Rumble. Rumble already lost his flash at level 1, so if there were an angle to a dive, you know, it would be in a game like this where he already has no flash, so he's going to come in and cover. And it's also going to allow, you know, maybe a little bit more trading and a little bit more soul collecting up in that top lane, because it's actually so important for Senna to be able to get that. Each soul not only is just gold income, but it's a tremendous amount of gold worth of stats. And if you are not collecting those, you're really not a threat later on, because you're so dependent upon that additional range, you know, to really be strong in the late game.
As Candy and APA take a mini trade here in the mid lane. We do see Umti has path towards the top side, so even though Isles is there, Heal Summoner Spell will help, but Surdy flashless, maybe they look for something. But actually, they would have known that the Gromp wasn't taken.
Exactly.
From the earlier invade.
He's just going to go for Gromp. They'll just nonstop push in top lane. They know that Set20 should be down on this bot side. APA should be able to stay safe here. We'll see if they do go for a look, but I mean, APA has a soldier.
Yeah, he's fine. Conquering Sands gets away, shifting Sands to the turret, and Dignitas Lyra, jungle first look right there, not going to find it. Now he's going to head back to the top. Scuttle, there's nothing to do on the top half of the map. So now it's up to Jan and CoreJJ to realize that. They're actually just winning a trade against Isles and Surdy. Almost getting first blood. That's heal down.
Yeah, I mean, you are very vulnerable. Again, you know, when you are playing Senna, I play a lot of this champion. You want the short trades. You don't want that extended all-in. It's so difficult when you do get chunked down if you get hit by an ECC. And so now Isles has no heal, has got to be really careful, because if he gets caught by, you know, a flash handshake or anything like that, he is going to be dead.
The only thing I can say is that Jan and CoreJJ might be feeling empowered to just keep pushing here. Maybe Lyra looks for it. No, Lyra's actually backing. So there's not going to be any assistance up here.
And it's so tough, too, because with that invade towards Gromp, we saw that there was a ward put down on the Tri-Brush on top side. They also took the Scuttle, so there is quite a bit of vision coverage. And with that big HP advantage, even if you go for the gank, I don't really know that it's going to work for sure. You know, there is, of course, still barrier available. There's the bailout. You know, it's a lot that you have to be watching for. APA playing pretty respectfully here towards Kaney, who I think is a player who may be kind of overlooked. You know, this is a guy who actually played very well at Worlds. You know, it did very well against Quid, who, you know, was kind of looked at as the Quid and River show, you know, going into Worlds. People think, okay, yeah, maybe some of the other lanes won't be able to hold up, but for sure mid and jungle are going to dominate. Wasn't the case. Kaney actually did really well. You know, not even just playing the meta stuff. He had a really strong LeBlanc game at Worlds. You know, has been able to be quite a flexible player, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see what he can get done in the LTA.
And a lot of conversation around newer mid laners so far has been mostly Loki on C9, Saint as well. So Kaney has flown a little more under the radar here. Let's see if he's able to have a flashy debut game in the LTA North. Right now, though, we have still Jan and CoreJJ up top, and now Tomo has joined in on the party.
I mean, so far, very close. Obviously, a slight lead for TL. Really just gained by that jungle invade. You know, the fact that they actually, you know, pushed out Lyra. They stole away the Gromp. They take the big wolf from Core. And it is going to be Dig here over on those grubs, but Umti is around, and TL can move to try to contest.
He's only level 5 for Jan CoreJJ. No ultimates available, which means it's harder for the Wukong to walk in confidently. If you can just smite one of these away, or at least deny the feat of strength stacking there, as he's actually going to go for it. Dignitas will concede and just back off.
Yeah, so basically Dig had the push on top, and they just used that for a first move in towards Grubs. As soon as Jan gets that wave in towards the tower, he's moving down. Dignitas say, you know what, we got two, you can take the last, and we'll just back it out. We'll take that slight win. It's also really, really nice, you know, as Senna, when you can move around towards Grubs, because you get a lot of souls from that. You can see he's up to 23 souls now, so already hit that first 20 mark for the additional range. They're going to look for Tomo.
And again, no heal on Isles, so maybe flashes are going to have to be used here. Jan throws up, get the shield from CoreJJ, as it's just traded on back damage, but Team Liquid coming out ahead in that exchange.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a trade of barriers, but they get the flash off of Tomo, so they're going to keep the pressure up here. Isles, you know, trying to position as aggressively as he can, but they have no vision defensively now, and without that summoner, could be scary if the Wukong is in the darkness there, and may well be.
Okay, they're spotted it out. Oh, now he's there, and has level 6. Cyclone used Tomo in trouble. No summoner spells. Whirling death for Jan. First blood picked up by Team Liquid's bot laner.
Nicely done. Going to be able to get those advantages with the summoners, and then Umti hits 6, flashes in. No real way out for Tomo in that situation. Now going to be able to grab a plate on top side and open up the first real advantage of the game. Remember, it is not first blood anymore. It is first to 3 kills that counts for the feats of strength. So that is still on the board for both teams.
But the concerning thing is once Draven gets a kill, usually there's a few more to follow. If you're able to get ahead, this champion can't snowball. So cause for concern for Dignitas. Let's get another look, though, at the replay.
Yeah, we can see it one more time. It's really about the previous play here. He's just going to flash E in, pops the ult, clones forward. Another use of the ult there. Doesn't really have to maximize damage at all. He's not even EQ ulting. He's not using the reset Q on the second activation there, in between the ult activations, but it just didn't need to. All he needed to do was get in there for the CC and allow his team to catch up. That was the primary thing. And the cash out was worth an additional 333 gold for Draven. So that's not really just 1 kill of gold. He basically just got 2 kills for 1.
Also, shout out, we just saw on the camera APA's parents in the audience. Love that they came here to support. If you want to support Team Liquid and the league as well, here's a friendly reminder that subscriptions to the LTA North Twitch channel are open. So check those out right now. Azale, you have an emote, I believe. Do you remember what yours is?
It's Nodders.
Nodders, there we go. I like it.
It's pretty cursed, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I don't remember what it looks like. So I'll have to take a look at it later, and then I'll rate it. I'll rate it after the cast.
It's a good one. They cooked. They cooked for sure. It might give you nightmares, though, so.
Okay.
Not before bed. Don't.
All right, with my morning coffee.
Yeah, with your morning coffee.
Once the nightmares have started.
Room, you know.
Team Liquid right now still pushing in the top lane here. Still level 5 for Isles, as Core JJ is matching that right now. But looking at the bot lane, Umti is actually hovering around there. He's going to go for a back. I thought maybe we look at Surdy right now, but so far the action really has been around Jan and Core JJ. What can the Draven and the Renata Glass get done?
And I'm not too surprised. I mean, this is kind of what the game becomes often when you draft these style of lanes. Kalista, Draven, both want to get ahead. Both are very snowbally champs, and both kind of suck from behind. So both teams really want to keep, their bot lane enabled, want to pin down the enemy bot, and really try to put them behind.
It's okay. Team Liquid, they're just warming up, Jan, he's got that 1 kill. He's working towards that first item. I believe that the game state will begin to accelerate once they start stacking up some more objectives. These next scrubs are spawning here in 30 seconds. We saw that there was not a full contest for the first stack, but could see it for this one here, because if you can get to that 4 for either team, it really helps your turret-taking ability, as Lyra does not realize that he's just spotted by Umti right now. We see it. He does not. Let's see if Lyra gets punished for this now on a control ward. I think that he'll probably back off, I imagine. Ooh, that W landed. Maybe they go in, but now Lyra, again, I'm just waiting here. Because of the vision that we have, we know that Dignitas are in a bit of trouble if they get engaged on, but with level 7 Sejuani, you are still pretty tanky. Now they see that Umti's in the neighborhood. Yep,
going to get that info, and we'll see how many grubs they are going to look for here. Are going to be starting this up. Both top laners do have TP available, but they're both still sitting on the bot side. Kaney gets the earlier push as APA went back to base.
Yeah, and he's not even TPing back to lane. He's walking all the way there. So if he groups up, he's going to lose the wave, as now the whiffed engage from Lyra, and now he's going to get punished for it. Dawning Shadow over the top for the shield, but Lyra will still go down. APA now TP's in and has the shuffle flashed away by Isles, but the whirling death again for Jan will pick up another kill.
And that's the feat of warfare there as well. 3 kills now for TL. They're going to get all 3 grubs as well, so they will get some progress on this objective here. That's going to be the first of the 3 that they need for those feats of strength. But they are heavily in the lead now. All 3 kills going to the Draven is exactly what you would want. I mean, he's almost the entire gold lead. That is a 1,500 gold lead individually for the Draven at this point.
Ooh.
And Team Liquid are running the exact same roster back from last year. This may seem like a foregone thing, but it doesn't actually happen that frequently in League. Even among the top teams, 0 roster changes. This is the first time in Team Liquid's history that they didn't change someone year over year.
That's wild.
Inspired as well on FlyQuest, he talked about how this is the first time in his entire career he played on a team where there wasn't a roster change year over year. Almost always happens.
And just for context, Team Liquid has been in the region for like a decade.
Yeah,
That's an insane amount of time to not have a roster swap. But here's that play where, again, Jan is getting fed. I said it before. Once you get that first kill, you can get a couple more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Lyra looks for the engage. It's a swing and a miss, and they just realize it's going to be a lost fight pretty much immediately. And you could see that Tomo was just bailing out. As soon as that whiffed, they know, all right, Lyra's dead. There's no way we're going to win the fight. Tomo's just walking back to top lane to farm, and it's just going to be cleanup duty for Team Liquid. They are now back towards this bottom side. They have a significant advantage here. And you can see, wow, I assume that Surdy must be close to level 9, but yeah, there. But still, it's over a full level lead for Impact, you know, in that 1v1. We haven't watched that at all, but he already has a Spirit Visage. He's just going to be building some MR and kind of just chilling against Surdy. And it's now on Surdy the pressure to make something happen because it's his team that's losing. You know, when you're playing top lane and you're just kind of farming it out and your team's winning, you don't have to do anything. You're doing your job. You just chill.
And I think that that's the repercussions of what happened on the lane swap. Tomo was getting the solo XP, and Impact was getting the solo XP, as Isles and Tomo have not been able to survive the 2v2, but now they're going for their own play. Teleport flank here as Jan could be in some trouble. Donnie Shadow again over the top. Bailout's used. He's going to flash forward! Jan makes it a 1-for-1 trade.
Flashes in, does get the kill. I don't know if it's even worth, I'm not going to lie. It looked really cool. But did spend his summoners to trade for the 1v1. Does end up giving up the shutdown. Nice play from Dignitas. The TP comes in from Surdy from behind. Isles gets the root. They drop the equalizer. Everyone is there. And they're able to get that shutdown onto their Yone, which is going to feel really, really good. You know, it's just all about this kind of coordinated play here. You know, the teleport comes in from behind with Surdy. Kaney is on the side. They get the equalizer down. Jan realizes the only way out is to fight his way out. Hits both sides of the ulti, flashes in. And it's actually the E that does finish him off with the stand aside. So, you know, it's hard to be, you know, positioning for that. Maybe could have been blocked by the Senna, you know, had they been expecting it. But I think he thought he was out scot-free. Still had the flash, didn't elect to use that. But not only did you get the 1 kill on Draven, which is big, it means Draven has no summoners. So for any next potential fight, he could be a lot more vulnerable because there is flash on Surdy, there's flash on Lyra, there's flash on Kaney. Everyone is going to have that up. Draven could be an easy target.
Good thing to bring up because Kaney picking up that kill is now completed first item, along with a couple other components here. But I think bright side for Team Liquid, there's not a lot to fight over right now. The next dragon will be up in 3 minutes' time. Maybe you go for the Herald as Kaney getting a good trade onto APA right there, utilizing that item that he just picked up.
Yeah, and you can see the bot lane being covered here. So many wards, you know, thrown down towards that bottom side here. All in this area from Team Liquid. You just have wards all over there on the minimap in the bottom right, you know, covering Draven so he continue to push up. is covering them as well, making sure that there's no sort of play that can surprise them down on the spot side. They have that early Bloodthirsters working in towards IE, and they know without summoners he could be vulnerable, so they just want to keep him safe.
And how much scarier is it for Surdy to walk down here 1v3 and try and catch the wave? As opposed to Impact, who's playing this tanky Cassante right now, it's so much harder to take him down. So Team Liquid, they're going to get a tier 2 turret. Dignitas might get an outer turret if they can get this wave to crash.
Yeah, I mean, they'll eventually get it, but you're trading 2 towers for the 1, and you're also getting, you know, so much of that gold isolated on the Draven. Draven now 2,000 plus gold ahead individually, about 2,100 gold. We're at 15 minutes. Like, that's a really good gold lead for your team.
Yeah.
That is a catastrophic gold lead when it is just in that isolated AD carry 1v1. You know, Draven is going to be sitting on a ton of gold at this point. Yeah, 1,500 in pocket, so he's going to be getting close to that next item. He's just out here on the map, going to continue farming, continue pushing in for these towers. Team Liquid also can easily take that top lane tier 1, which has been chunked quite low. And this is where it starts to get tough, you know, as Dignitas, where you're getting pushed in on multiple sides of the map. You know, we saw FlyQuest doing this yesterday to Shopify, where, you know, yes, you have to overload one side to make a play, but...
Speaking of plays, that's a double flash, and again... Glacial Prison missing the target right there. Team Liquid are able to get 2 summoner spells only for their 1 on their mid laner.
But that ulti from Lyra at least forced the flash from APA, right? Sure. So, you know, I'll call that less of a miss and more of a, you know, forced summoner, because I do think that's still not a bad trade, but great play overall from APA. Gets in, gets both those flashes, and there's flash on Wukong, which means you are in danger if you walk close as those AD carries.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be able to contest this at all. That guarantees another tower is going to be going down. If they want to use a top, that would be an easy tower. Likely they can get top without even dropping it, and then just use that mid and secure, you know, the last of the outer towers and really start to balloon this gold lead.
And the timing of that play was great for Team Liquid because Jan's flash was still on cooldown. It's coming off shortly, but that was the objective, that maybe Dignitas could take advantage of Draven not having that summoner spell for. Team Liquid was still able to get it because of APA.
And they got the feats of strength off of that. You know, now they have those upgraded boots, so even more power in them. Kaney going to get interrupted here by Impact. Not going to be able to chase him down or anything like that, but still just being as annoying as possible. APA pushing up this top side, collecting a couple of those roses, and the bot lane's just 2v2ing
we're TPing. Behind APA right now, no flash available. Equalizer goes down, denying 1 escape path. But where does Kaney want to approach him? AP is actually walking forward. He sees that Surdy's going for the back. That's flash out from Surdy. Donnie Shadow again does damage to APA as Surdy will walk up and get the kill credit. Finally on the board.
Yeah, APA just decides, okay, I can't actually walk out. Kaney is behind me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in, look for a kill. He gets a flash F30 and gets the tower. So, yeah, he goes down, but you get a summoner, you get the tower, the gold becomes pretty equal, and you know that they committed multiple members to topside and the Senna ultimate, you know, so the teleport as well. So, quite a lot committed for that trade, and it still goes pretty well for TL because they're also going to get the Dragon off this on the bot side. So, again, this is where it becomes tough. If you fall behind, the traditional thinking is, all right, we send an extra man, we get a 2v1, we get a 3v2, we make plays happen with that, which is smart, but when TL is really not playing afraid, they're getting deep vision, they're pushing all sides, you can only attack one place at a time, right? And that's where you're always going to lose out somewhere else on the map against a really good team.
I mean, Team Liquid played that very well with the rebuttal of, okay, APA, sacrifice your life, we'll get what we can, but I do want to talk about Dignitas and their focus in this game so far. It feels like they haven't been that afraid to make plays, which I am happy to see. Yes, they traded down in that one, but they were still trying to be proactive as now they're getting engaged on here. Fate's call. Tomo will save his supports as Isles will survive there.
But will they save the tower? That's the problem
I
now.
imagine not.
No flashes on him. Herald going to get dropped here. They can just walk straight up. Wukong's threatening the wraparound, so Dignitas have got to leave. They might even be able to get a second charge as all 5 members here from TL.
Kaney is actually here, though. Umti could be in some trouble, and he dodges out on the Emperor's Divide, but Umti's still alive. He can't go down. Team Liquid rally to save their jungler. And now they're even diving the mid lane. Tomo's in trouble. Isles keeping him up with the Summoner Spell heal, but that is also barrier used. Dignitas losing multiple Summoner Spells and their mid laner.
I mean, CoreJJ being so annoying there. Uses the Mikhails for the heal, uses Summoner heal, uses his bailout, uses his shield. Every little bit there actually making the difference. You know, even the Mikhails heal, which is, I don't know, at this point in the game, probably like 150 or 200
it's not
health.
much,
But that was the difference.
Yeah.
And, you know, he used everything in the kit to keep the Wukong alive because that time, the ultimate from Lyra, everything connected. You know, Kaney wasn't able to actually find the follow-up ult. Maybe need to let that rep a little bit earlier to keep the CC chain going. But this was a pretty good look here. You know, get the Heartsteel proc, they back up, and then point blank, you know, is able to find the ulti on him, is able to find that CC, but then the sidestep there from Umti, and here is where you'll see them come through. That is the Mikhails heal, that is the Summoner heal, that is the E, the shield as well. Everything coming through and everything counting to keep the Wukong alive. Well played by Core.
Get yourself a partner like Core JJ. He won't give up on you. He's going to keep working to make sure that you're able to make it out of that one as Umti now 4 assists here. He's providing that CC for the team and getting everybody fed, everyone ahead right now. Jan still with 4 kills to his name, and top lane also still doing pretty well in the experience department. Now we're rallying around the Atacon as Team Liquid are trying to control the vision to the area.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it gets really, really tough. You know, if you're already down 5K, they can force Otacon. They can really put the pressure on you to come and look for a fight, right? So that's where it's going to be very, very difficult. We'll see if they can find a pick.
We're actually finding Umti right now. Chain CC, Fate sealed rather, as the Dawning Shadow over the top is still just not enough damage. Umti burning down. Oh! Finally enough with the Leandries, but now AP looking for his own play. Emperor's Divide onto Surdy in the mid lane as he will be traded. Shut down gold over to Jan.
Yeah, Jan gonna rack up another kill there. He has gotten so much gold from the cash-ins. Over 1,000 gold now, almost 1,100 just from that passive on the Draven.
Wow.
And he's gonna be sitting on a ton of gold now, nearly sitting on 3K. So he has another item complete when he goes back to base, whatever he does choose to go for. Kaney going forward for a little trade, but again, it is a Bloodthirster Draven. He can heal it back up, and there was no ultimate available for Kaney, so there's never really a threat of a 100-0 type play there. So TL just going to go back towards the top side, look for a reset. You don't need to rush when you're going against Otacon. You actually want it to be delayed as the winning team, which may sound a little bit counterintuitive, but it's about delaying it until the Baron. So you can actually chain these two objectives. Sure. Because if you're dodging out on all the abilities coming out from Otacon, you take very little damage. The GA effect lasts 2.5 minutes. So if you take that at 23, 24 minutes, you can then force a fight right around Baron and then just immediately res, run back to Baron. Even if the other team goes 5 for 2, it's still a 5v3 on the map after you all come back instantly with that. And it makes it almost impossible to defend the Baron. And those two objectives back to back is almost always going to be a win.
Sage advice from a literal world champion. You can dodge the Atacon damage. Somebody tell this guys, they'll figure it out later. Team Liquid right now are starting it up here as there's no vision down on it right now from Dignitas, so they don't see it. They're going to have to peek their heads in and take a look.
Yeah, spotted down now by that blue trinket, so They're going to have the info that it was being hit, but TL will just pull off it, and they're going to look for Isles.
Yeah, Isles in trouble right now. Fairly squishy champion. That's a flash away as now Umpty's engaging snap onto Tomo. Doesn't have a lot of backup with the team, but here comes APA. Blast cone's over. APA flanking deep on the Azir, but they've already traded Umpty for nothing right now. Dignitas are still up on the Rift. Can they survive the onslaught that is Team Liquid? APA gets past them, and he'll take down both of the bot laners, as nobody else from Team Liquid will fall. Lyra in trouble as well. Will he burn down? No, just barely alive. APA might be hunting though. Gonna back away. Dignitas do not walk up with an advantage in kills. Umpty almost trades his life down, but APA saves the play.
Yeah, MT goes in, at least is able to force out some cooldowns. TL, the rest of the members, massive gold lead on them, are able to fight through and take it. Surdy and Kaney actually got some pretty good damage done on the other side of the fight there. They got impact low. They were close to getting some kills, but they just didn't quite have enough in the tank here. And once you get in onto Tomo, impact looking for the flash play on him made it very, very difficult. They were just really low on consistent damage after that.
And again, I mean, we talked about the start of the day. Is APA's Azir going to be it? He's actually made a couple of pretty clutch plays so far. I mean, getting the double flashes from Tomo Isles, which set up the Herald play. That play right there. So, I mean, the gauntlet was kind of thrown. And I think the doubters are getting silenced right now. APA has looked fairly solid on this pick.
And now luxury items start to come in, right? He has that Seeker's arm guard ready, so he has the stasis available. Knowing he's down flashed, you are a lot more vulnerable, but that makes it that much more difficult. Yon still has his flash available, as Kaney is pushing bot side, does take a tier 1. Dignitas likely not going to contest this unless the TP
they have
right
a teleport.
now.
Yeah, Kaney could look for it. He's going to go for a reset first. That's not going to be enough time. It's already down to 4K health. Team Liquid can just play goalie. That Atacon is theirs. Dignitas, I think, a little behind on the play right there. Team Liquid, they get away with it.
Yeah, I think they were debating a little bit. I think the initial idea was Kaney pushes for tier 1, bases, buys, then TPs in. But they realized, all right, we're too late, so he's just going to stay bot and try to get some damage down on that tower. But because he didn't push forward the whole time, he can't even finish off the tier 2.
Yeah.
So now you have those GAs available here. And this is where TL are just going to look to get hyper-aggressive, try to force a fight right around the Baron spawn. Either they threaten to take the Baron or they just march it down and just flash on you under a tower. Again, you don't have to trade evenly. You just have to trade. As long as you get a kill or two or chunk them really low, you can then utilize that res to go right back to Baron. And it is going to be incredibly hard to stop TL if they do that, because they will kill the Baron so fast with this Azir and with this Draven that's already monstrously fed.
And this is what Team Liquid was so good at last year as well, just being a little ahead of the play, a couple seconds ahead, and now they're forcing this objective. Dignitas, again, will have to approach, and again, they just went for resets. It's gone. So it's just going to be gone. I guess the play might be wait out the respawn timers here, because the Atacon buff
you can try, but they're not going to wait. That's the problem, right? With Atacon plus Baron, if you give it, you say, sure, wait it out, but then they have Baron buff minions, they're at your tower, they're going to dive you. 100%, they're going to dive you. They're not necessarily going to win the game, but they're going to dive you, and then they're going to come right back and do it again.
And they're going to flash forward. Core JJ onto Surdy, slowing him down as well. Umpty's here. And Surdy's locked in place for a little bit. Gets away. APA with another shuffle under turn, but it only hits the tank. As Umpty gets onto 3. Dawning Shadow gets the revive. Nobody's fallen on Dignitas. That was the dive, but was it worth it? Kaney goes in for the hero play. We'll have to snap back to the base. Dignitas are holding the line for right now, but like you said, Team Liquid, they're just teleporting back in.
Yeah, they still have 3 of those GAs available as well. So we'll see, how it goes. Impact has it, Core has it, and Yon has it. There's going to be a TP flank coming in here from Kaney, but he has no ult. Let's see if they can make it happen.
Can they do it? Lyra's trying to lock down APA, but it was not long enough. Yon's now walking forward, 1v3ing the rest of Dignitas. They can't back up Lyra and Kaney, so it's a 2-man mission. Can Kaney make it happen? Gets one more down. Now goes in onto Yon, locked in place. Kaney can be the damage dealer. APA can't quite get onto them as Tomo's unleashed onto Impact. Shut down for Surdy. And all those GAs have disappeared for Team Liquid.
And they got some real kills after they killed APA off. They get that big kill on him. That is massive for Dignitas. Great defense. And that was just kind of an overforce from TL. They didn't get onto key targets, so yes, they were okay to play aggressive when you do have that res, but they just couldn't really get any sort of a decent trade out of it. You look at the initial play, and just even the targeting, this is actually the subsequent play. After APA had already died, he comes back, he has that stasis. You can see that Yon is going to try to look for an outplay here onto Kaney. What he's going to try to do is flash over the Q3 from the Yone, but he gets hit by it anyway. The hitbox is very big. Those kind of flashes have to be almost pixel perfect because the hitbox actually travels behind the character as well. So tries to look for the outplay. He was hoping to flash over the top, then have the extra damage to finish him off there and be able to make something happen. It does not work out. But I think that is less the failure, and more the failure was the initial dive and the initial play, where they only really got in onto the Dignitas tanks and got so little from that Otacon.
If APA was able to scoop up Tomo or Isles there, maybe that's a better play for them, but they still have flashes available. It was really just the engage on the Lyra.
And that being said, TL still at Soul Point. There is going to be, more on the map for them to get. They didn't really get much from the Baron at all. You can see only 1,000 gold from the Red Bull Baron power play. So that is worse than just the initial Baron take. Not a lot of value grabbed, especially not what you expect when you see both the Otacon and the Baron taken together.
Because it's important to remember that, okay, we saw Kaney going in aggressive there. Even if they have the GA, it still gives over gold as Lyra now trying to frontline here for Dignitas. They're jockeying for this dragon that's spawning right now. Dignitas do not want to give over a free Dragon Soul.
It is Chemtech, which isn't great, but still it's a Dragon Soul. It's a lot of stats, it's a lot of power, and TL are playing from ahead. They got to button it up here, though.
Yeah, APA in particular, completed item up over Kaney right now on the Azir. Very strong with 3 items, as Umti's going to be on to the Dragon Yang as well. Kaney jumping over the wall to get some damage onto Umti and scout out. They don't have a ward in the pit, I don't believe, as it's just out. Team Liquid, they get the Dragon. That is sold. Dignitas were not able to push them away.
Yeah, not able to push them away. And Impact's going in.
Flash forward, as now he'll just jump back towards the team. Kaney with the knockup, but that's a very tanky Cassante. Umti on the flank. Watch for the Wukong. Can he get onto anybody? It's only Lyra yet again. APA now onto the backline, but he's in trouble. Doesn't have the backup of the team. Goes golden though. Surdy with a shutdown onto Jan. That's something for Dignitas, and that's a lot more with the APA kill as well. Double kill to Surdy. Dignitas are making it happen. Team Liquid wanted it. Man. Surdy's going nuts as Kaney's pushing away Impact and Dignitas pushing the mid wave. They're taking down structures.
And this is objective bounties. They're going to get multiple objective bounties potentially here. They already got the one for the tier 1 mid. They already got a lot of kills, and Surdy is making it happen in some of these fights, getting very, very fed at this point. 5-1 now on the Rumble. We can watch this one more time. And the engage, it looked like it was going to be such a good angle for Umti, but his target selection has not been it. He goes in over the wall, and it's a solo engage onto Lyra, right? You want to be in the backline. Like, look at where APA is fighting. Imagine if he's in the backline hitting Isles, hitting Surdy, hitting Tomo.
Yeah.
It's such a different fight. Instead, he kind of is trying to do this like half-hearted peel the front line thing with your Wukong ult, but it doesn't really work, and Jan dies anyway. While meanwhile, Surdy is just left completely free, and that man is locked in.
Yeah,
no reaction at all. He is focused on winning here. This guy has done everything he can at the lower levels in League. He won NACL. He won CLOL. He's made it multiple times as well to the NACL finals. He was, the LP record in North America in solo queue was ranked 1 and 2 at the same time. It's time for the LTA. He is here, and he is putting on a show in game number 1.
And remember, he got lane swapped on. He had the flash level 1 and had a rough start to this game. Now roaring back to life. He's looking like taking glass off in a rom-com. Suddenly he's beautiful. Let's go, Surdy.
The real message is he always was.
He always was. Exactly. We knew. We saw what was inside, as now Dignitas, again, looking at Impact here. It's so scary to actually get onto the Cassante. He's got such a big health bar, so it's usually just poking him down, seeing if they can whittle him.
I feel like TL is going to start sweating a little bit. I mean, they're up 4,000 gold. They have a soul, but
they're just going to engage onto Surdy right now. He is a little away from the rest of the team, but look at the damage! Surdy on a rampage just absorbs the engage. He will go down eventually, but that's not what Team Liquid wanted.
No, not at all. And I mean, Umti just kind of goes in, man on a mission there. That was almost a solo kill from Surdy in what felt like, one versus multiple members. Yes, he got the Senna shield. Yes, there was some additional damage probably coming in, but it was mostly all him taking down Umti. And Umti is having, not a good game here. Did start out well, was able to find some plays, but he is kind of struggling with his engages, and it's going to be TL starting this up.
Yeah.
There is no jungler for them, though, so this is risky. Kaney's down bot. They at least want to force out that teleport, but they should have the info of what is happening, and they definitely do now.
APA's playing goalie right now. If he can just shuffle everyone away, just keep Lyra out of the pit. It doesn't matter if they have the jungler, but now it's just an engage from Dignitas. They lose the Baron, but can they win the fight afterwards? Kaney teleported to the top lane, but that's too far away from the rest of the team, and Jan is still fed. He's still ready to fight, and APA is getting fed. Double kill over to the Azir as Tomo's in full retreat mode. Dignitas thought maybe they could make it happen, but his name is APA, and this is his Azir. 7-3-3 with the triple kill.
Yeah, Kaney goes for that long teleport. They didn't have a good ward for him, so he couldn't actually get closer to the play. I think they needed to go a little bit faster, try to get a ward down so he could actually join. He teleports in, they just engage away from him, and now they're looking to potentially end the game here.
I
We'll
think
see if
that
they can
is.
do it.
The Baron picked up, and they didn't lose any members. I mean, Dignitas were just hoping to win the fight afterwards. Equalizer will go down. Surdy is trying to do the damage. Kaney jumps to the backline, but Yad just does that much damage with 4-item full crit Draven. Team Liquid taking out the turrets and the Nexus, and game 1 wrapped up.
That was looking like a really not close game, and then all of a sudden, like, whoa,
Yeah.
wait a second here. This is getting a little bit close.